grandmother was a quilter that she just closed her eyes and picked up a piece of material, and whatever color it was, and it always looked beautiful. Barn quilts was originally a ground roots effort to decorate barns, and usually the design that was put on the barn had some feeling or desire or meaning to the people that lived there. And then the idea kind of spread, and people just started doing quilt designs on wood and hanging them up outside. All of the patterns in barn quilts go back to, historically, to people who have designed quilts. My mother and grandmother were professional quilters, and so I got the intuition about doing barn quilts from them. But I'm more of an outdoor person, and so I decided, well, I could do outdoor art and make barn quilts. My first pieces were at Kellyway Gardens at the Woodstock Inn, because they had renovated an old barn for use of different parties and ceremonies and things like that. And the garden was coming to life, so I have several out there, and that's how I started. And it was by word of mouth and through Artistree that my barn quilts have become known. Rather than focusing on mud, I focused on spring and the seasons to come, spring and summer. I use milk paint, so my colors are such that they actually sink into the wood, and that makes them quite interesting. It's always really fun to know what their gallery show is going to be, and I start thinking ahead about, oh, I want to do this pattern, I want to do this, and then I look for my wood and look for my size and go from there.
I have a large kiln, a wonderful big kiln, and I started doing work there. I'm often influenced by seeing another show, and when I see another show, I think, oh, I get that, because I sort of did something around those issues. Well, there's a wonderful show on at the Hood Museum at Dartmouth, and I had just come from that, and it's about gold. Gold is reflective, and I like the light. For a while, I did use gold in the kiln, much too expensive, in very small amounts. And so I haven't done anything except this one body of work that's all about that. But I realized that light you can't really capture that with my other materials. I also do printmaking. And no matter what I do, I can't make that vibration. And in these cases, it's all about earth.
I live on a dirt road, and we experience mud season every year. And one day I came across one of our trucks from town, one of the big dump trucks that carries a plow in the winter, going down the road, and he was going very slow, and there were lots of ruts in the road. And so I took out my phone and took a picture of the back of him while I was going down the road behind him. And so there was some great ruts in the road, and the sun was shining, and I just loved the picture. So I finally got around to painting it, and so it came around to this time of year, and I talked to Deb and said, I've got the painting for you that will be a great picture for promoting this show. I think the colors are great, the grays and the squareness of it, and then you've got all these lights blinking, and it's just there's something about it that's makes me feel like home. So, since I've lived here for the last 30 years, it's very comforting. My other paintings are again part of my my world, where I live, where I pass through, and which is the forest, and just different times of the year. I guess these are all sort of in the winter or late winter. This particular one is the beech tree leaves that they turn copper and that, you know, and they're the only thing that has any color in that, all those blues and grays and purples in the middle of winter. So I just found that to be beautiful. If you get the sun right and you just happen to get something, you just have to pass through at the right time to find, you know, where the light is showing and stuff like that. There's just you know, textures going on, and then there's dark textures and light textures and bold colors next to, you know, shimmering colors. So it just a lot of things kind of going on all at once, where there's some quiet places in the painting, and then there's some busy parts, and how they flow together and how they connect. It's very subtle, and you just have to look for the variations in the grays. There's reds, there's the copper beech, there's dark greens. There's a lot of actual colors in the color gray, and I just think it's beautiful. Yeah, I actually really like it. It's very calming. You know, sometimes the middle of the summer, it's just very green. And this is just a very calm, it's a very peaceful time of year, so I really like it, yeah. I do some different things. I've been to the Tunbridge Fair oftentimes. I take a lot of pictures and paint the Tunbridge Fair, but one of the things that kind of got me going when I was there was the still lifes and the vegetable art, and that has carried me over into finding what I call found still lifes. And I've found some animals at the CVS that were on sale for Easter, and I just thought the way they were arranged was just fabulous, and it made me happy. So, so I take pictures, you know, of found still lifes. You know, they're just things that I haven't put together, I haven't done anything, I've just come across, and so that one just appealed to me, and I look for those in places, you know, you never know where you're going to find that kind of thing in different places. Yeah. They're still, because they're not moving, I guess, you know, but yes, there's life in it, and there's joy, and particularly in that one and stuff. And I think that people, once they start painting, they start looking around and they see things that they don't normally see, that, you know, their busy lives, and they're just going to work, or they're, you know, coming and going with things in their lives, and you know, art gives one a chance to see things as we're going about our life. And maybe my art will have them see something when they go out in the world. They'll maybe see something and go, oh, that reminds me, you know, look at that. Isn't that something different, something interesting?
My art is very unlike the art that is in the gallery, and I wasn't sure that they would be receptive to my pieces, but they have been.
What does that mean to you?
This place, oh, I can't even describe how wonderful it is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's just wonderful. The community is here, and that is something I cherish very much, because it's hard to find that sometimes. And the people here are so supportive, and everybody just pulls together to do whatever anybody wants to do that can be supportive to anybody that wants to come here. There isn't, sometimes in art communities, there's a little bit of snobbishness, and there's none of that here, and that's just wonderful. Everybody is welcome.